Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here's the rundown. Week 1, Day 3. We have a full weekend of League of Legends from the LEC now. We had some upsets today, on this day. It's not today anymore because it's the day after. Rogue vs BDS. They do a little Kalista first pick, BDS, Aphelios. Common answer with counter pick support, Aphelios and Kalista is playable. Kalista Renata is something that people favor, but Labrov likes his Blitzcrank. Some other teams they would go Milio here, but I think it makes more sense to pair Blitzcrank with Talia, for example. Hwei gets picked into Talia. Vaya is already banned. Smolder, Senna, Zeri, Varos out. The Prior becomes Kalista. Here, I guess in the minor BDS, they knew they have an answer into Kalista. I think if they wanted to, I think Rogue is a team that would prioritize Kalista over Senna, but maybe they know something from scrims or something like this. But okay. 4-5, they ban Jarvan, Volibear, Jarvan, because Talia Aphelios is showing. Something Marcoon has played in the past, I do believe. Darius, Rel banned, and then Maokai gets picked on 4. Maokai pairing with Talia. Still, even though Maokai got nerfed, can be played. Zinzao, Gragas. Gragas has been a go-to blind in Europe. Don't like it too much. Adam picks Renekton on 5, which is, you know, it's Gragas is denial against Renekton. It's a denial against Renekton. And I'm surprised, but then again, it's Adam, right? Renekton also has synergy with Talia Maokai, strong top side. They should be able to, you know, have options in the game, you know? Maokai Blitzcrank is a very strong combo, and most of the time the enemy is not going to have a champ that blocks it. Blitzcrank Maokai, you know, even though Maokai got nerfed in terms of competitive, the fact that K'Sante is the worst champion definitely benefits Maokai, right? Because K'Sante was one of the few champs that could just W block Maokai and Blitzcrank, right? So these champions have gotten improved in terms of how some team fights go down, even though Maokai has been nerfed. But okay, Rogue vs BDS. Rogue had, as far as I remember, a pretty solid start. They had a pretty solid start in this game. They got advantages, if I remember correctly. Let's just go through it and jump to the key notes in this game. They get the Drake. Trying to remember some of the fights that went down. I'm trying to find the right moment. Sorry, guys. Okay. So this one. So this is something that BDS really need to hammer home and hammer down. This is something that they cannot do. In this spot here, Aphelios is showing on the wave. Rogue is doing the standard thing of bot wave crashing and then retaking river and controlling river. Here Aphelios is showing on bot wave and they are over posturing way too far. There are many moments where they could have backed off, but they don't. Like many moments they could have backed up. They could have taken this decision a couple of times and they committed to get committed onto. This is something that BDS need to be very careful about. Just let Aphelios push the wave for free and take it easy. 2 Drakes now for Rogue. BDS does have 6 grubs, but it's not easy for them to actually use them, right? 6 grubs here in such a game. Renekton can't hit the tower so easily against Gragas. Kalista, Renata against Aphelios Blitz, not so easy to hit the tower, right? It's not so easy for them to progress the game with 6 void grubs. Let's take a look at this fight. Here, I like how Zoelis is pushing forward in the fights. He's playing off of Kalista ult, so he's taking space. I think Marcoon should play more together with his team when they retake the space. Should play from the same angle. I think it would be better. It would be a lot better. But here, Marcoon becomes isolated, and that's a part of the problem, right? I think Marcoon needed to connect earlier. Let's take a step back and see if there was a moment where Marcoon could have connected. Because here's like Marcoon is just going into top side to defend the Kalista from getting dove. And then Marcoon kind of throws away his position when he's trying to help Kalista cross. So yeah, still, I think Marcoon could have repositioned, and I think they could have face checked into this. And Pin has TP, they have TPs if they want to contest this, of course. I just think Marcoon becomes a little bit out of position here. The follow-up though of Marcoon and the catch, BDS, they kind of lose the position all-inning because they want to hit this Zinzao. But look at the fat combo here from Rogue, of course. Started with the huge Hui ult, and then of course the wave here from the Renata, which is massive, and then the follow-up Kalista ult on that, and they get a huge CC chain. Very well played, very well played. I think their composition is very strong at such a point in the game. I'm not a big fan of Aphelios in general. I think this champion just falls off. Not falls off, sorry. It takes too long for this champion to be useful, and it really needs, you know, really needs items and the correct weapons to pop off. And I think that in general, it's just a very weak champion, right? It needs to get like 3 core before it really pops off, have the right weapons. I just believe it's way too conditional for a game, like a meta game that is quite active, you know, a very active meta game. And the same thing, you know, if you think of champions at scale, I'd just compare it to the likes of Senna and Smolder, right? Senna and Smolder, before Drake 4, they're super strong. Before Drake 4, you're not gonna have 3 items. Aphelios really pops off after 3 items because armor becomes less of a factor against them and so forth. But, you know, that's why I like Aphelios a lot less. I don't think he's powerful enough in lane. Thresh is weak, and at the same time, his reward is really not exciting at all. So, blue side now in a good spot. I like how Zweilous is posturing forward once again. Like, this is very frustrating because Zweilous is posturing forward. I think if Zweilous buffed his ult here on the hook, if he buffed his ult right here, I think that it would be so insane. Zweilous would have been really smurf here. But I think the start should be for BDS just a Maokai ult, and then they play the fight and they can enter. I think also Adam probably should just posture from this position instead, and then Maokai should be thrown. I think that they are funneling through the same angle, which is not good. It's also like Talia wall can be used here, you know, Talia wall can be used to cut off some teammates to look for the engage. Imagine Renekton collapse from here, and then the Talia wall right here, and then they play on this. Would have been a lot better, you know, with the Maokai ult. Just BDS, don't approach this fight properly. They're all funneling through the same area. Look how easy it is for the rogue to actually control this space. So be mindful of this. I think Adam should cross through here. And if Hui is using abilities to cover you and you don't have a ping to place, then you've still done enough, I think, as Renekton here. So we continue. They all funnel through the same spot. Maokai ult is coming. The Kalista ult on, of course, Zweilous combo. And Ice doesn't get too much from his ultimate. And Rogue, wow. Rogue is about to win a game. They're about to win a game, guys. They're about to win a game. 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 The enemy team. Pressure on Nash. Trying to make something happen. Markoon gets the ult off. And Rogue just outvalue him here at this point. BDS looking quite desperate. They're hitting the Nash because they had the right weapons on Aphelios, but blue side sniffed it out. All right. Here, Finn in a solid spot. The enemy team is going to play on Kalista Rend. They have Kalista Rend. They have Xin Zhao Smite. They can combo it, looking to be the ones to pressure and to force. When you have these strong abilities to turn with, Gragas, Renata ult, all of these beautiful spells that are really gonna attack you in the juggler, would be super nice. Let's see Rogue's execution. Here comes Finn. Here comes Finn with the move speed. Oof. 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 Alright, still, Rogue in a strong spot. Ice had to flash out, didn't die, but maybe still winnable. Maybe still winnable. The combo of Gragas didn't land, the ult didn't push him the right way. They could have CC chained Ice here properly with the engage of Markoko. Still, we're hitting a front to back here. The enemy lost a lot of this DPS considering Aphelios' position. Comp feeling himself and flashes forward. I'm not sure if he thought that he had the bailout, or I don't know what the thought process was here. But my man flashed in. And the whole fight turns. And Aphelios has achieved. And Aphelios has reached critical mass, guys. With this fight and this Nashor, Aphelios now has reached a point where he's giga strong. And blue side is kind of outscaled. The only opener here is that Ice has no flash. But very hard to fight that opener against a team that has Nashor. Oof. Maokai ult. GG. Very dry ending. Very dry ending. Alright. BDS get a little bit of a freebie there. Some things to work on there for BDS. Maybe Aphelios is something to work on. You know, maybe find a better way to structure draft, to set up better trades, because I think the Aphelios comes with risks. Even though, like, I think Ice did a good job on Aphelios. I think that Ice here has been, I think Ice has been the MVP of BDS in this first week. I think, you know, he has shown many different sides himself. I think Ice was impressive this weekend, which is solid. But I think maybe you set up a stronger trade. Maybe you restructure your ban so you can actually trade Kalista for something, or you ban Kalista and invite other champs. There's room to explore, for sure. There's room to explore. Blitz was hard in this draft? No, Blitz was good. Blitz was good, I think. I think Blitz with Maokai is super strong, and you can play Blitz against Kalista Renato. Not a lot of players are going to want to do that, but Labrov is definitely a player that can do that in the LEC. Alright, game number 2. SK versus Vitality. Plain and simple, I think Vitality just had the pleasure of being too greedy, right? It's like the Smolder on 5. So Smolder solo lane made a lot more sense when you went the full tank Smolder, right? But now, with the change of 14.5, they made the passive scale of AD and AP a lot harder, so your items are actually relevant. That's why the item like BT is super strong, because you almost get 2% bonus damage on your passive, the execute, sorry. So the tank builds are a lot worse. So I think in that vein, Smolder top also becomes worse. Here SK, they have a composition which is really strong early game, right? But Kalista, Renata against Nautilus Senna, very hard lane for Nautilus Senna. Rel jungle, super strong, level 1, 2, 3, right? Can be very busy and very active. And then SK goes so hard into that commitment, they go even Nico Volibear. This is the epitome of early game. If you don't snowball, you're going to fall off a fucking cliff, right? They need to really snowball. Vitality, I think they went too greedy. I think that they needed to be the one picking volleyball on forward. Like, they needed to be the ones contesting the early game with a strong jungle, especially when enemies showing Kalista, Renata, and Rel already. I think the Poppy, while it makes sense, you want to really fuck over Kalista and you want to make her game worse, you need to stabilize your game, because already from the 1, 2, 3, you are scaling better than the enemy. So a little bit of an overcommitment here in the scaling department, because scaling-wise, they already won in the 1, 2, 3, especially when they can choose which mid laners they want to ban. But SK, played an impressive game. They had a very, like a slam dunk of an early game. Very crucial that they burnt Hylissang's flash already. I think that Poppy did a good job of protecting the dives, They spotted Rel crossing into top side. Sorry, I went forward too fast. It's like here, he made Poppy pass like this to make sure that bot can catch. And then bot was healthy enough to not get dove, and then Poppy crosses into top side. Because Isma has many options. Isma can dive top, he can dive bot because of how strong Volibear is, strong bot lane is. So Poppy is just on fucking cleanup duty, He needs to try to make these homies catch waves. So Photon lost a lot of XP and gold, but it's not the end of the days. As long as he didn't die, didn't burn TP, it's all good. It's just that it's so hard having two oppressive lanes. It's like there's degrees, right? It's not black and white, like winning, losing. Like this is stacking wave, hard in the paint, you can get dove, 3v2, 2v1, you can get dove. This is like very extreme. And I think Poppy did a good job of actually saving all of the weak lanes, but it doesn't help as well that Niski also is playing against Talia and really, really smurfing the lane here, right? So, as a follow-up, Rel just rushes bot. How based is Isma? He stays on level 3, rushes bot. Poppy is on a ward on red, and he's like, guys, I'm coming bot to dive. I don't give a fuck about my camps. Volibear checks them, puts a ward to see if anything happens, and they kill Kazi. And the snowball begins, ladies and gentlemen. So we got Drake, we got three of the things. Let me just see the swap here. I want to just see the swap from Vitality. What happened? They based, and then Senna and Nautilus and Poppy, they're crossing into topside. Are they? What happened here? This is so strange. How did this lane assignment happen? So these guys get pushed off the turret. They catch the wave. They push one wave. And Volibear went bot. This blue side who initiated. Wow, blue side initiate lane swap. That just seems so wrong to me. That seems very wrong. They're just committing to be topside on the void grubs, but your topside wins. The enemy bot lane didn't base yet. They're slow pushing a wave. I think this swap is very troll. Very troll. This is very bad. Very bad. Enemy topside cannot do contest grubs. If you want the grubs, you can take them. And Kalista and Renata have so much better items and they can actually deny enemy pushing on bot. I thought it was red side who swapped on the TP or Photon. That's why I looked so curiously at this. But I think SK is just inting. It's like the outcome is not bad, but I think it's worse than what it could have been. The follow-up is kind of goofy though from Vitality. Let me just take a look at this once again. So, Photon bases. He TP's top. Irrelevant bases, walks bot. Kalista Renata open on top, Photon slow pushing. His Vitality's bot lane is also slow pushing. They want to base. They want to base, and Volibear is gonna catch. And Smolder is pushing that same wave top. So Senna Nautilus can now base and match. But Smolder gets cancelled. Smolder gets cancelled. Smolder got cancelled on the base. Smolder got cancelled on the base. Yeah, Smolder getting cancelled on the base here matters a lot. Yeah, I don't like the swap either way. I don't like it. I think they could have secured grubs and I think they could have done a fine job either way. Not sure what Hilly is doing here. Just believes he's tanky, but he's not. So it's just very easy to dive with Renata and Kalista ult. This is something that Mateo did like all game long. I'm not sure what you're thinking when you're trying to defend this turret at a solo HP against a triple grub team. Exekick just clears the turret and Vitality is overextended. And honestly, at this point, it's like the game is so accelerated. It's like they have 5k gold ahead and Vitality just kind of lose. Yeah? I'm just finishing this up and I need 25 minutes, okay?
25?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, Vitality. Icarus. They flew too close to the sun after winning with a Senna and a Smolder. They flew way too close to the sun. Let's take a look at game 3. GX was MDK. Talija. Kalista. Orianna. Smolder. Nyla. Xin Zhao. Something I like about MDK, only team in fucking Europe. One of the only teams that plays Karma. God bless them. Vi gets locked in first pick. People always laughed at me for first picking Vi last split, just because we lost. But nevertheless, it's GX, nothing to be proud of. Vi first pick, Senna Volibear is locked in. I think Volibear lock in, very solid. Good jungle into Vi, can pressure on every case. Volibear just auto wins all the 2v2s and can just pressure. Really good to secure a strong jungle that has like good pairings. Varus gets locked in, Nautilus, and then Tahm Kench because enemy is showing Nautilus and Vi. Completely normal, natural, easy. GX don't have a lot of options. Hui, Ari gets banned and they pick Kama. Rumble, Yon, really like this rotation. Really like it. I think Rumble is so underplayed. Rumble didn't get nerfed. He only got like impacted by teams recognizing the tank top with MR items are very strong. But now K'Sante is nerfed. Koenig Ruken is nerfed. Rumble is still fucking broken, guys. Still fucking broken, I tell you. And then Yon. This is a Yon blind because Karma is flex and Karma can be played into Rumble, right? I don't think Karma is hard stomping Rumble. I think Karma is like a denial. It's like a fine champ. Because keep in mind, when Rumble was OP, and it still is, there were no real counters to Rumble. So you can play Karma or Rumble, or pick a different tank, but Rumble always had a good time, man. Rumble always had a good time. I'm happy to see more Rumble. And this is a beautiful Rumble comp. So Yon picked here, and then they sent Karma top into Rumble to then pick LB. So an issue here with LB lock-in is that you have so much magic damage already. So much magic damage already. Not so easy to play LB because the enemy will just all buy Mercs and all buy MR and you won't have a good time. It's like Volibear is mixed damage. Tamken is full AP, Karma AP, LeBlanc AP. This is a bit too much. A bit too much, a bit too rich. They lack physical damage in this composition. We mentioned this because GX have a composition that is very streamlined and easy to play, very easy to select targets, very good damage distribution, very good wombo combo. Like they scale insanely well. So MDK need to snowball early super hard. LeBlanc needs to snowball, Volibear needs to snowball. But MDK is a very strong early game team, so maybe they can make it happen. Let's take a look. We look at the game. Trying to remember now how MDK actually managed to get ahead in this early game. Was there a late invade? Ooh, I remember. Okay, so this is very interesting. So Karma level 1, very strong, Mantra Q, all that good stuff. Elioya starts the chickens. He starts the chickens and then Supa go and Alvaro go deep to put vision. They can because they spotted Ignar and Patrick on mid-wave. They put the vision. So they know that Vi is starting top side. So Karma is going to late invade here and fuck with Peach. Peach is hating his life and same time Elioya is hitting his Raptors. We can bring up the conversation once again about how the LEC is changed, right? The LEC is changed because of how draft into planning can happen. It's like GX seem aware of the potential. They warded here level 1, right? They seem aware of it, but MDK found a very clever way to fuck with the Vi, and the Vi loses her wolves and Peach is in big trouble. Volibear is a champion that can clear very fast, so we can definitely like leverage this into more. Vi can't cross, and Elioya is crossing now to match in case Vi wants to go into his bottom side jungle because he knows Vi is bottom side. So already Vi is behind, but it's something that you can recover. Volibear now 35 CS, even with his longsword advantage, Vi has nothing to do into this Volibear. Volibear is now standing tall, waiting for the respawn of the camps. Here, the only thing that happened here really, I wonder if Elioya could pressure more here. Maybe the Volibear could actually invade here onto the wolves, but Peach manages to steal them in front of his nose. I think if Elioya kept going here, I think he could have really put Peach in the dirt. Because I really like that Elioya was crossing into there and not basing and keeping pressure just because of how strong he is, you know? Really good. So GX cross and Elioya base late and played for the pressure of the camps, and GX, you know, using a lot of tempo and a lot of bot lane prio here to actually do the Drake. I don't think that if you're Elioya, you care too much about this. I'm looking who plays this pink. Like, why is this pink allowed to live? How could no one cleared this pink for so long? Look, this pink is placed by Volibear out of spawn. He places this pink, and then he takes a little sniff, a little whiff, and then he crosses again, and this pink never gets cleared. Never gets cleared. Never gets cleared. Never gets cleared. And now Volibear comes back bot after stealing enemy red. This pink is just allowed to live. So allowed to live. Big swing of gold, they managed to kill Varus, of course. This is really relevant. Here, not sure what Peach is doing. Like this W forward, I don't know why he just doesn't ult Alvaro. Like obviously he should. I don't know why Elioya doesn't ult or for the Vi ult either. Obviously he should. I think that more people should have died here in terms of how they played. We fast forward. Midway no TP and Rumble has TP. Very crazy for MDK to just take the fight like this. I think they are very psycho. Here Jackie's does a combo I've never seen before. No, he does that later actually. How is this remotely close? This is a 4v5 fight. Peach Q's forward. Peach Q's forward. I don't know, this fight is so absurd. Oh yeah, actually here's Jackie's combo. Look at what Jackie's does here. What the fuck is that? Ish. They just use every ult in the game for nothing. That's the problem. Damn. Because they should be so winning, like Rumble has TP. I didn't understand, like I didn't understand how this could be close. Because like MDK taking this fight is psychotic, I think. Maybe they don't know Rumble TP. Maybe they know they're on a timer. Not so sure. Like blue side has every ult in the game, and the way Peach also plays, he just queues in like that. That's crazy. And that's how MDK snowballed. Let's see now how MDK throw. So Mirwin died in this spot. Kind of like how, you know, Peach and Ignar are just collapsing inside and letting Varus be the one pushing mid. This is a good way to play against Senna Tam. Like, you can outnumber on side because enemy Senna will always be showing. It's like when you think about Lulu, AD, Medio, AD, or Senna Tam, they need to be two on the wave. So you have room to do quick plays on side, always like this, right? They killed Mirwin once, right? They killed Mirwin. They killed LeBlanc the same way. And then the follow-up was Volibear. They die exactly the same way. You know, you'd figure third time is a charm, you know? Maybe at some point you recognize that GX are just hiding in top bush. And they are not on the mid wave. It's kind of funny to me. It's funny to me. But as an educational thing, this is a good way of playing against duo bot lanes that need to stick with each other. Not sure why Lyoya was split out in that direction, but we continue. When I did my tier list, this is something I spoke about. I think that when MDK is ahead on tempo, they're very good at cutting through and taking the right space in enemy jungle. I think this is something they do well. Here I'm surprised, because here is the opposite, right? Here is the opposite. In a moment where you commit into bottom side and the enemy has Herald and they are playing first, you need to be very careful about how you retake. Because when you retake, if you're careful about it and you throw spells into bushes and you're aware that this is something that can happen, then the enemy have lost their base timer. If you look at the items, MDK, they have spent more gold currently. But you just need to be very careful about how you enter into your space again. Because right now GX are committing a big amount of time into making this play work. They are sticking in the jungle, they're staying in the jungle. MDK have no vision here. Yone is showing on bottom side, and in this moment MDK just need to be very careful about how they retake. YamatoCannon was on the wave and they just plain and simple heavily underestimated the idea from GX of trapping. So honestly, it's like in terms of top kills, in terms of this tempo trap here, GX had some good moments. They had some good moments. Credit to Ignar, honestly. Credit to Ignar. And also Odamne for always being like ready to TP and being very impactful as even a top laner. We continue. To look at this again. All right. Now it's just a comp gap, I would say. Now it's a comp gap. I think Elioya is best jungle in LEC. I think Razork is the best jungle in LEC. Yeah, I'm looking at this fight and I just feel like at this point they are quite outskilled. They are quite outskilled, I feel like. I just think like picking LB and Volibear commits you so hard to this idea that you need to scale. I imagine a world where they have, if they send Kama mid, Volibear, and they pick a top laner that scales, hard to do so against Rumble, so maybe Rumble is just a bit too OP. Does Volibear fall off that hard usually? Volibear falls off quite hard, yeah. Volibear has very hard time reaching the right targets, and his kit is pretty simple, yeah. Karma didn't really impact the game at all, and GX just been very patient. Here we see volley items. We have Sundered Sky and a Warden's Mail here. And a Tabi. Now, I would argue that the game is just done and dusted. Done and dusted. And the only hope here really is if Supa gets like to some extreme, ridiculous like soul number that just doesn't make sense. But you know, Ignar was on point today. I think Ignar for me MVP. The ult on Tam Coco, and that is all she wrote. That is all she wrote. The MDK, you know, did some good things early, but then they got trapped on side over and over, and I think that their composition, like LB, like they are too AP heavy, and I think also like LB and Volibear, like these champions, like you're committing a lot. Like you need to just have more scaling in your team. You know, if you had like LB, Volibear, Karma, Smolder, Rakan, then I would think that makes sense, you know. But LeBlanc as well as a champion is not that strong early anymore. LeBlanc is just, I don't know. LeBlanc is just kind of a dead champ in my opinion. All right. Let's take a look at Team Heretics versus Fnatic. Team Heretics versus Fnatic. What else can I say, guys? Smolder gets picked. So, here again, right? If you're picking Volibear Ahri, you better have a bot lane matchup where you can stack waves and dive. So, if we compare this draft, right, to the SK draft, it's like SK is committing to this idea 100%. They're gonna try to fuck up this Smolder with mid push into Volibear, like everything is just about fucking this Smolder up, right? And you're picking Ahri Volibear, enemy has Nico. This is very good understanding, because it was the same with G2-2, right? It's like Smolder gets picked and then they pick Nico. They're making sure that they have a way of contesting 2v2 mid and that they have ways of supporting the Smolder. So in this spot, right, you're picking Ahri Volibear. Your 2v2 mid isn't super interesting because there's things that you can pick into it and do fire. And you need to now create a scenario where you find dives on bot. You rely a little bit on the enemy mistake, right, in terms of the push and the laning of Zvyro, right? And in this moment, I think draft-wise, if you have Volibear Ahri, like you need to have like Draven, you need to have Kalista, you need to have like a bot lane that can stack waves and really smash dives. Because the other way, right, the other way is, oh, enemy has Smolder, we go Ahri and we go Vi. That could have been perfectly fine if they go Ahri Vi. Because then Vi provides scaling, she'll be covered early game because Smolder can't pressure, and you can pick a bot lane that is going to match with that. Usually the bot lane that will keep a stable game. And then Ahri Vi will provide scaling on 6, they are strong, they have ways to pressure Smolder. But here, Volibear Ahri will drop AD, you're not going to have an AD that is going to be able to stack waves. And that's the issue. Imagine they went Vi, Ahri, and then they went, for example, when Nautilus is shown, they just pick Kai'Sa. And then they play Alistar, Leona, Rel, and they go in that direction. And then they have a full dive comp, and they just fucking smurf it, right? As an example. But here, when you go Volibear Ahri, I don't think that you can manage bot in a way that is going to make Volibear feel rewarding. But in this particular game, the way it was played out, there was a big significant advantage of Team Heretics, who gave up against Fnatic. So let's take a look at how this was done, because I still think this was a masterclass early game from Razork. Like Razork really put the heat and put the pressure down. So Razork here did a 4 camp into Blue Invade, which coincides with Renekton 4th wave crashing. It's a good way of putting pressure. Volibear early game, very strong. You know, it's like someone in the chat said Volibear is overhyped, but the thing is people are not using Volibear the right way. Volibear needs to be used to transition OP champions in your team to a point where they're OP. Like, Volibear is an early game jungle. Then you need to pair it with champions that are going to carry the Volibear later on in the game, you know? Or create a game that is basically you need to win in 20 minutes, but I don't like playing those games that often. I'm not a big fan of those. No good ADs of though that pressure Smolder so hard. Yes, Kalista and Draven were outright, so I think that you need to pick Vi Ahri. You pick Vi Ahri into Smolder, and then you have a completely different scenario, you know? Because then you have scaling. You have scaling against the Smolder, and you have tools that are going to be good to deal with Smolder, right? But nevertheless, Razork invading, and Oscarinin stacking waves on top, and Volibear didn't base and didn't go bot side. Another strength of Volibear is that he's still stronger than the enemy jungle without base. Lee Sin went for Doran's Blade, didn't complete his clear, and here comes the pain train. Oscarinin, you know, they just have to combo properly here. You have Q of Razork, the move speed is insane, the E doesn't get placed so well, but it doesn't matter. 2 flashes need to be used instead, and Wunder is in big trouble. Wunder is in big trouble because he flashed and he TP'd and he's losing a big wave top. Razor can now base and enter into bottom side. He can do what the fuck he wants. He can just match the enemy. Here they're too late for the Drake, so Team Reddits are happy to get that Drake, of course. Here I'm not sure what the fuck Fnatic are doing. I don't like this type of play because the enemy just did Drake. Just did Drake, right? And they can collapse on you. But I guess with the information they have in River, they have a little window to do so. I'm just looking at what Volibear is doing and it's not in tune with this. Zyro survives and Jankos plays this as if he's level 6 Lee Sin and they get away with it. I just think that this looked very dangerous to me. Very dangerous. Not a super big fan of this play. Another thing to highlight too is Zyro is like even in CS against Humanoid and he had like decent conditions, like the wave didn't look good. I think Zyro is obviously the worst laner here. The worst laner here. Okay, so Razork now can cross into top side, he can invade enemy Gromp, he can play the game. Here what's so crucial about Razork getting that top crab is that after Gromp or after any additional XP, he is just going to be level 6. And that makes the turret dive so much easier. So here Razork is just doing Gromp, Lee Sin is looking top if Wunder is getting dove, and after catching that wave they feel safe, but here Razork is going to reach level 6, doesn't even need to use R, they one-shot Wunder, and Wunder is having a very rough game. But then again, this is not on Wunder, this is really not on Wunder, this is just a part of like the isolated Volibear Renekton plan. So it's like Volibear Renekton can easily pressure and dive Aatrox. That's something that's very hard for Lee Sin to deny because he gets pushed out of his own jungle. That's what makes Volibear so OP. Not a lot of junglers can hard force situations like this, right? And that's why Volibear is considered so fucking strong, even in the past, right? Just on-click CC, an immense amount of burst, really good early game item buys, and falls off a cliff. He has done his job. But it is important that you have champions that can leverage the fact that you have strong early into scaling later on, right? Like imagine you have Renekton, Volibear, Ahri, and you have Smolder on your team. All of a sudden you have a very strong top side that can guarantee the early game to make Smolder reach the points that she wants to reach. That's why like you talk about, you look at G2's draft. They have Javan, Nico, Gragas, and they have Smolder Raka. Smolder Raka is supposed to transition, like really carry the later parts of the game, and Nico and Javan have a 2v2 mid jungle that makes sure that they can cover bottom potential dives, right? We continue with the game. Still, like, obviously draft is draft. Like, the Fnatic should have won this game either way. They should have won this game with the position they were in. Razork turns around and says, Razork, what the fuck, Jankos, what are you doing to my fucking jungle here, bro? Like, you're doing my shit, man? Doing my shit, I'm gonna bite your face off. Somehow, Lee Sin survives here. I don't know if it's a war hope or I don't know what happened. He just walked away. And at least he gets a little grub. So Jankos in big trouble. Wunder also in big trouble. Jankos shows up here, but Razork kind of grieves here. Razork should just go for Aatrox. They are missing the damage. He thought that his team could find lethal on him, but he has Tabi Ninja. This Renekton has a fucking Eclipse. Obviously, just killing Wunder here would have been really big. This is a bit of a throw. The danger of playing an early game centric composition. They should just one-shot Aatrox, walked away, would have been really good. Razork dies. Maybe Zyro could do more here. Maybe Zyro could do more. He has flash. Maybe he could do more. Enemy. But playing it safe, killing Volibear is also cool. Okay. Not sure here. Ari is just pushing a wave dry and crashing. Lee Sin is not in time for bot wave, and they're sacked away with the cannon. But, Wunder is the target again. Everybody hates Wunder. Everybody hates Wunder. Not sure what Team Heretics were really thinking with the lane assignment. Like sending Smolder top, I guess it's because of Aatrox's death. And Aatrox just walked bot. Not so sure. Lane assignment wise, I don't think they can save their bottom turret either way. They just can't. The only saving grace here for Team Heretics is if Smolder reaches stacks right, and the one Drake that they took, but Fnatic should be super winning. Let me find some bigger moments of the game. Here we are. We lose the game for a Gromp. So, Renekton's pushing bot. You want to start pressure Nash. Ari is on top wave. Ari is on top wave. This is the point where we need to check. We don't need to go. Playing Smolder Tam blind is not so easy. I can tell you that much. Because that would be Smolder Vi blind. Smolder Vi blind is a very hard lane. Okay, so simple solution. Pay attention to Ari. Ari's on the wave. You've spotted them. You've done your job, you know? You just have to wait. Yanquest is the little rel. They kite, they go forward, and Wunder looks like the shy here. This is the Wunder that was under so heavy pressure. Blackhead has reached critical mass, and all of a sudden this composition just... You make a mistake like this, or you make some of the mistakes that happened, GG. GG, guys. GG. No, it's like if enemy goes Tam, you can play like Bard. You can play like range supports with Kog'Maw. Like there's a lot of things that you can pick. Like picking Tam dry blind with Smolder sounds pretty hard. Sounds pretty hard. Zvyro, my goat. Trying to remember, was Zvyro a goat this game? Let's see Jack Spectra. Let's see Jack Spectra. Trying to remember. I think he was solid this game. He was solid this game. This is a solid Zvyro game. This one was fat. This one was fat. But I give more credit to Tromboner. Give a little bit more credit to the Trombone here. For finding the angle on Ari into the one shot. Zvyro with the punish. Oh, Do you think Zvyro is an upgrade to perks? I don't know. Like comparing the player is such a pointless thing, you know? Because the psychology of the change is what has the most impact, you know? Can Jack Spectra make it back into the LEC though? Yeah. Jack will make it. Jack will make it. I think Trimby had a fucking crazy game. Really good, really good game here. Fnatic's composition comes with so much risk, right? So much risk. They need to keep diving, keep pressuring, can't give up any drakes. It's like you can't make any mistakes, and if they happen, it's tricky. It's like the enemy has Nico Leeson, right? It's like they dove top, snowballed top, did a good job of pressuring the turret. I think Razuk had a fantastic early game, but then you just threw it all. And in a lot of games, mistakes happen. That's why I didn't like really the rotation here of Volibear Ari, and knowing that you won't have a bot lane that is going to be able to stack waves onto of course, the Smolder is tricky. I don't know, you could go like Ari Nautilus if that's what you wanted. You can go Ari Nautilus and then you pick Kai'Sa on 3, you can play a game like that. Some people like to play Tristana against Smolder with all-in soup, Kai'Sa. Zeri is like okay-ish, you know? Not so sure. Wunder, what a recovery for Wunder in this game though. Absolutely crazy. Tromboner with the hook, man. In this situation, Wunder just saves it all, man. Because June gets a monster engage here, man. He goes over the wall and then he like fucking finds his angle, gets 4. We have to see now the Jankos kick montage. Jankos found Noah in every fight somehow. But let's just take a look at... let's take a look at it. Like Noah gets kicked in the forehead every fucking fight. Every fucking fight he gets kicked in the forehead. Let me take a look here. So this one was over the wall, Tromboner smurfed, okay. This fight happened here. Aatrox pops off. Let me just check again, like why like, because Renekton is not here. How could Fnatic lose here? No, I just walked into Nicold. Oof. 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 Eesh. Oh. Okay. Surely, him keeping the flash is going to work wonders here. Surely. Can't find the Jankos kicks. Where are the beautiful Jankos kicks? Oh yeah, this is the moment where why I was questioning like Jack's comment about Zvyro popping off this game. Because this is a kick from Janko S, and then Zvyro ults the floor. One second, Andrew, let me finish.
You done soon?
Yes, I'm done soon.
Okay.
I just feel like Noah is at LEC level. I think that Noah is LEC level, but I don't think ADs and LEC are good. I think that AD is a very rough role in the LEC, I'm not gonna lie. I think AD has been suffering for a long time in Europe. But I think Noah belongs in the LEC. He has some good games. He has some good games, honestly. No, it's like to say the LEC level is down is not. It's like Hansama is good, yeah. Hansama is fucking good. I'm just thinking about like the comparison to other regions. Like AD is just a way more impactful role in other regions, in my opinion. Yeah, Kazi is solid. It's like we have some solid players, yeah. We have some solid players. Noah's Korean though. What do you mean? He's playing in Europe. Like... Alright. This is the moment. Is this the moment of truth? Look at this from Yanko S, man. Yanko... Actually, it's Tromboner again, bro. Trombone again, but Yankos. The Polish synergy, man. The Polish synergy into the kick. How did Zvyro take so much damage? Yeah, Zvyro is just fucking trolling. Look at this minion, bro. What is that? Zvyro is just low-key kinda trolling. It's like low-key kinda trolling. No spell, nothing. Zvyro doesn't find the lethal. Zeri gets away with this fucking gameplay. And then Zvyro ult here on the floor. Wunder does his absolute best. He marked the Renekton. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. Okay. But no worries, guys. Yankos finds them all, no matter what. Here comes Yankos. Zvyro clips humanoid over the wall. Look at Yanko S, man. Trimby almost fucking kills Noah there, man. Boom! Look at Yankos, bro. He's flying, man. Yankos is flying, bro. He hits the Q. He hits the Q in this mess? That's crazy, man. Yanko S, man. There it is. The Sonic Wave, guys. Do you see the Sonic Wave there? Do you see the Sonic Wave? Right there. Gadoosh. He finds the Sonic Wave. The Sonic Wave of God. Into... Boom. Gorgeous. Yankos, man. What a smurfer. What a smurfer. What a smurfer Yanko is. That's fantastic. Alright, good for them, good for them. I don't think that Team Heretics is a better team than Fnatic. I think Fnatic has... This is the best of one win, right? This is the best of one win. Fnatic played a very hard-stomping draft in the early game. They did, you know... good early game, but then they threw and then Smolder kicked in. I think the main thing to highlight here for Team Heretics, I think that Wunder has been really fucking good this weekend. I think Wunder has been pretty fucking good. I think Yankos is better this split than he was in the previous split. I think that's like the main thing that is exciting. And Trimby really popped off in this game. So it's like you saw some individual brilliance, you know, from the Team Heretic players, from the ones that we expect more of, which is super, super cool. Like played Smolder and he kept up with stacks. Good job. We love good Smolder gameplay. Alright, let's continue. Last game. G2 versus KC. G2 versus KC. G2, first pick Smolder, trade for Senna. I like how G2 set up the Smolder because they can, like G2 have this broken thing going on, right? Where it's like Hansama is the best AD in Europe because he's pulling fucking 1-2 bans every fucking time. and he plays fucking everything. This is such a big advantage. They know that Kalista Draven bans are coming, so they can ban Zeri Kaiser to set up a Smolder pick that is completely monster. Really, really monster. Think about a world now where Senna is OP, Senna is OP, Smolder is OP. It's like Hansama is having a field day because the enemy team needs to ban Kalista Draven every fucking game. And I think this is where teams need to begin to explore and see a little bit more, because this is a fucking problem. Hans is the best AD in Europe because he's pulling these fucking bans every fucking game. So Smolder gets first pick, they trade for Senna. Alright, it is what it is, they trade for Senna, right? I think that in best of ones, I understand it. In best of ones, I understand it because Kalista Draven, preparing for G2 Kalista Draven is something that is very tricky to do because the other teams can't replicate it, right? And they very rarely play Draven Kalista and Scrim. It's like something that's been grandfathered in because it's BO1s. Okay. Varus. Smolder first pick. Chill. Keep in mind, Vi is out, Zeri Kaiser is out. Orianna, Senna. No Nautilus Prior, I don't like it. I think here, Jarvan scared the shit out of them. I didn't like the Jarvan. Like, I don't like that Jarvan makes you pick Tahm-Kench. I really don't like that. You have to play Nautilus, man. Just play fucking Nautilus. Like, I don't think that you can pick Tahm into Jarvan. I don't think Jarvan forces Tahm-Kench. I don't like it. So they pick Jarvan, okay. Jarvan and Orianna, Senna. Jarvan got Q buff, cool. Like that's gonna do some stuff, right? Jarvan, Nico. Nico is crucial here because Nico will cover Smolder in the early game and will make sure that Smolder doesn't get dove like a motherfucker. Nico can sack herself and push and be there. Very important, you know? Tahm-Kench. Blitzcrank, Zac. No Nautilus ban, okay, they pick Rakan anyway, you know? Zac, good into Senna, Orianna, Tahm, fine. The enemy blind pick Zac in the past, cool. They pick Gragas, Rakan, Lee Sin, and Gnar. So the issue for me with KC's composition is, yeah, I think that they have very little engaged tools. But they should be stronger on both sides, right? This is a draft. This is like a Gen G draft from last year. This right here. You have Doran, and then you have Chovy, Orianna. They're gonna farm CC. They're gonna farm all the CS on side, and they're going to dominate the game by playing in an economy game. Because enemies 2v2 is weaker because you have Lee and Orianna against Java and Nico. I think they should win. You just go Mercs on Orianna, she can never die. Lee Sin is super strong in 2v2. Gnar should win over Gragas over time. They need to play a very strong side lane game. But in this particular game, like we start off with G2's really, really big blunder, okay? G2... G2, so basically it's like G2 have a good start, right? They have a very good start. Very good start. They have the Drake, they're chilling, they're winning trades. It's like somehow, you know, this Rakan and this Smolder are winning trades both in a winning lane, which is massive. There was like a trade that happened in the game where, let me show you, when Upset is forced to flash. Let me show you guys this trade here on bot. This is good shit here, man. Ups is trying to squeeze that plating and he gets punished for it. He gets W'd and the trade is fat. And then here, Smolder just drifts. I wonder here, it's hard to flash, right? Because enemy is in E and also has heal. So flash heal is off. Imagine Rakan Smolder burning sums. Crazy. G2 is just better. But G2 made a massive, disgusting blunder. This Drake here. So G2, all they need to do is pull... TK missed knockup as well. How is he supposed to hit fucking knockup on a Smolder that is fucking flapping? It was very hard. Okay. Here G2 just need to pull the Drake in one direction and stick to it. But this is not the one, sorry, it's the next one. It's the next one. Sorry, it's the next one. It's a Cloud Drake. Okay. This is also just greed, right? They're hitting turret for plating. I like this move from KC. We can highlight this too. Sorry, I skipped this moment in the game. Is that KC they did a full-on swap a little bit too early for Void Grubs. They're doing a Senna Void Grub gambit, right? It's like Tahm Kench, how to dive on bot, you send Senna into the Void Grubs. The Void Grubs spawn in 30 seconds. So here, G2 know that their tempo is faster and they're going to look to pressure Targamas on the bot wave. They're going to look to pressure dive. Here, Targamas probably would die under the turret. Maybe he can outplay, maybe he can flash, maybe he can do something, but dangerous. He gives it up. He doesn't want to give money to the enemy team. This is way too early. So, KC fuck up. They fuck up by swapping and doing the Senna gambit way too early. So Tahm Kench is under the turret. The enemy tempo is much faster because the Void Grubs aren't even alive yet. There's no gambit, there's no play, there's no pressure on Gragas. They cross into bottom side, and G2 right now, like keep in mind here, Senna, Lee Sin, and Orianna, they're moving in non-vision. Here, G2 is guessing and assuming that the enemy is on Void Grubs. Look now, Gragas is spotting the Void Grubs, and now G2 should get the fuck out. They need to run. They need to run. They need to really run. But they get surprised because KC have the one vision pocket, and G2 of course get hard punished for it. But keep in mind there, G2 they have the idea for Gragas to spot the Void Grubs, and G2's bot lane just didn't play accordingly to the information that they got. If they get away here and KC didn't take Void Grubs, they got punished both the same time, it's very bad for the game. So KC did the swap to Void Grubs way too early, and they managed to get 2 kills here because G2, when they had info on Void Grubs, didn't piece the fuck out. They didn't piece the fuck out. Now they need to run. Every fiber of their being they need to run, right? Okay. Now this leads us to the Drake that was so goofy from G2. Yak gets the Void Grubs as mentioned before. So, now we're going to the Dretzky. The Dretzky. Essence Reaver finished, Protobelt finished. G2 feel really fucking good about this one, even though they have the smolder. In this particular spot, G2 just need to pull out the fucking Drake. They need to pull out the Drake and they need to connect with Hans Sama, right? Hans Sama needs to connect here and they need to pull out this Drake to this side. Plain and simple. They need to, plain and simple, pull out the Drake. But what do G2 do? G2, Hans Sama gets cut off. Hans Sama is cut off. He's cut off. Was Yak just farming whole game? No. No. Like, don't look at the KDA. Like, Yak was busy. Yak was busy. So, Hans Sama is cut off. He's fucking relying on flap to get over the wall, but he needs flap to fight. Because the issue here, if you pull out this Drake, okay? If you pull out this Drake, the enemy can't commit into you. The Orianna can't connect. But just because you're in the pit and Hans Sama is cut off, Orianna can connect and you get collapsed on. You get collapsed on. You get collapsed on. You need to pull out the objective. And then Mickey drools on his keyboard and does whatever the fuck this is. Really fucking terrible. Fucking Hans Sama trusted him to hit some fucking CC and they just use the ult as well. And now, of course, they are in the Drake pit and they're getting fucked. Doesn't matter that they get the engage. Tahm Kench gets a lot of value here. TP over the wall, good kick from Bo, beautifully mechanically played, good punish from KC. They recognize that the enemy is inting. Very good punish, but G2 really fucking ran it down. The reason I know this so well, I'm gonna show you guys. Look at this fight, okay? Let me show you guys this, okay? Look at this disturbing piece of Drake. Look at us. So Upset does exactly the same thing Hans Sama does. Do you guys see? He doesn't connect to his teammates. Because he's playing on fucking Kai's ult. But that's troll. Why would he do that? Why do you want to make sure that you start the fight with ulting in? Deja vu, right? We're in the pit. We are fucking strong. We have item. We should have free win. But look, just because we don't pull out the Drake, the enemy can cross into us and Akali can connect. Look how easy Akali connects. And now we're in the pit. Deja vu. I've been in this place. Look how similar it looks. It's exactly the same thing, isn't it? Do you guys see? It's exact same frame. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. Look at that, guys. Ain't that something? And that's why, guys, you pull out the objective. Very simple rule, guys, is that you pull out the Drake and you pull it out towards the direction of where the enemy is isolated. If the enemy is contesting through bot, pull out the objective towards, of course, the isolated member. In this case, that was Saken. You need to pull it out so he can't connect. And G2, of course, get hard punished. KC get a very, very good fight. Okay, so now the interesting part starts. KC, now 6 kills, very, very far ahead on gold. They are very, very happy in this game. Now the main thing that KC missed, in my opinion, was the fact that Lee Sin Orianna should always perma-fucking-match. Always perma-match. I don't know why KC have this habit of grouping on mid. They are just grouping on mid, grouping on mid, grouping on mid, grouping on mid, grouping on mid. They want to kill this mid turret for some fucking reason, grouping on mid. Why? Lee Sin Orianna can dominate the whole game. This Nico cannot look at them. The Javan cannot look at them. They dominate. And the enemy team doesn't have that much pressure on Senna and Tam. They don't. Senna Tam need to put vision around mid lane, so they are playing in isolation, and then Lee Sin Orianna need to walk wherever Nico goes. Well, look what happens in this game. So first, we have the lane assignment that was prepared for, of course, the Herald, which is fine. Here, I think that Orianna and Senna and everyone, they should play bottom side. They should play bottom side right now in this spot. They are going towards Cabo because he doesn't have TP. Okay. But then, you know, top is a dead wave right now. I don't like the fact that there is an active trade even happening. So they rush here. Okay. They take the turret with the Rift Herald. I think it's whatever. Targamas can't push the neutral wave on bot. Because, of course, he has no vision and the enemy is not spotted, right? They don't know what Javan is. Like, the way you assign lane is Senna Tam on mid, and then Cabo play in isolation with his TP, and then Lee Sin Orianna just walk wherever Nico is. That's it. And then Senna Tam need to put vision around mid, so they are safe from Javan, Rakan engage, which should be very doable. Like that, they can go through mid, put down vision, no problem. Then ISO go to Lee Sin. It's like, basically, you open through mid, put down vision around mid because you're strong as 4, but don't walk up to siege. And then when you have vision around mid, then you see what Nico's decision is. Is Nico on side? Okay, we're going to walk on Nico's side with Orianna Lee Sin because we have prio mid. And then we just push her out all the way to tier 2. That's like the crucial thing, you know? That's the crucial thing. So here they show 3 top side, Caps is pushing a wave. Caps is still hitting a wave, and we are now in this map trade situation. G2 are basing because KC is now doing the right thing of opening on the map towards Nico's side. Senna and this is also fine, like having Orianna mid is perfectly okay. Orianna mid is solo and then 3 on side also pressures the Nico. Completely okay. No problem at all. This was the moment where red side is preparing for the Drake and the enemy is trying to cross map play on the Gnar. This is no problem at all. Cabo played this super well. They tried to TP on him. Targama's TPing here is really fucking troll. He shouldn't do it, right? Here, in hindsight, here, G2 is just trying to force this cross map because Nico right now can't push bot because the enemy is playing towards her side. And Nico is just trying to force a play. They're trying to make this happen, and Cabo gets so much out of them. The enemy doesn't farm side, and they manage to push. This is a good condition for KC. Very good situation here for KC. They use so many flashes, they use TP, a lot of the resources are gone for G2. Nice. Now we just keep the same, right? Lee Sin, Orianna, open on the map. Here you see Nico bot, Orianna, Lee Sin, go straight bot, walk bot. Here right now, Senna and Tam can put vision on their own. They have enough vision on mid to put more vision. Walk on Nico, Orianna. Here, push. You got the mid wave, cross into bottom side. Here, the Gnar has the wave already. There's no play on top side. Fuck top side. The enemy's gonna do Nash? No, they can't do Nash. Let's help Orianna push all the way. Right? Here, KC, they walk on mid-wave. They walk on mid-wave. The enemy has no pressure on R. And now they are sieging. I'm not so sure what the siege is. Nico right now is thinking, I see 4 people mid. I can push the next bot wave for free. When in reality, Saken should be in fog of war. And they should threaten Nico to not push that bot wave. Very important. Because what happens now? They're not going to start hitting Nash, and the enemy is definitely not going to start hitting Nash either. If Orianna is pushing deep waves with TP on and they are in fog of war, the enemy team can't start Nash, guys. It's 20 minutes. So now they're crossing, but Nico already stole the bot wave. Nico already got the bot wave, guys. They are too slow to collapse on bot. This was an issue of ours as well in the last split, right? And now Nico stole the bot wave, and now everyone can breathe again. And they're securing their jungle like this. When in reality, it should have been Orianna and Fog. Push the deep wave on bot. And make sure that Nico can't push that bot wave, invade enemy jungle, camps play for them. But G2 is keeping a very stable game because Nico is stealing waves. This is a stolen wave. We continue. Nico now goes into bottom side. What happens again? KC is sieging on mid. Targamos is trying to flash with Orianna ult. Nico right now sees 4 people. Nico is gonna push a deep wave. And she's gonna go even so far to hit the turret. She's hitting the turret now. Because she sees everyone. She sees everyone, they see everyone. If they go 4 bot, you don't understand, Anders. I'm not saying you have to go 4 bot all the way. You just need to be in fog of war with Orianna, so Orianna can cross into bot to push the neutral wave and force Nico off of it. That's all. You don't need to commit all the way. You don't need to. You really don't need to. I'm not saying 4-man bot push tier 2. No. We're just hovering. We're just staying in bot side jungle. When I say go bot, I mean bot side jungle. Like we are staying in this space right here. They took the mid wave. And then Orianna is in fog. Orianna should never show on midway for no reason. Like Orianna is just walking and showing on the midway for no reason. It's really bad. Because Nico is abusing it. Like they are just abusing it. It's like Orianna has full vision to push on her own. Full vision. We are crossing into the jungle to just place 1 ward. To make sure Javan is not bot. That's all. In these entire sequences, Javan is not showing. Rakan is not showing. Because they know how valuable this information is. Right? We continue. Here the setup is solid. Once again, G2 make a very, very wholehearted commitment, right? They make a full commitment here to make Nico push. But very important how G2 are soft contesting. They are soft contesting and they are posturing forward because they want to make KC commit 5-man to the Drake. This is just good play from both sides, right? It's like Smolder just reached 236 and they don't have position. G2 is in the state of mind that time is a very good friend of theirs. But G2 is soft contesting to make sure KC is committed with many members here to do this Drake. But entering into here is hard. I like what Saken is doing here. Poking. He should be poking. And he should make sure that G2 can't enter. Right? And then Nico is just taking top. Nico would not be able to take this top tower if these guys weren't soft contesting, right? If they weren't soft contesting, making KC think maybe they are coming, then someone would just base and go top and start pushing Nico's side, right? But in these entire sequences, it's like no kills happened, right? But the amount of gold that these guys generated during this time has been higher, even though red side is stronger. In this moment, G2 use a lot of tools. They use Rakan ult, they use Smolder ult, they use Javan flash and ult. I think that KC should really start to pressure Nash. They should really start to pressure Nash, in my opinion. One big problem, right, is that they don't have the best composition to turn with. So that's maybe the argument against it, right? But I feel like this is a moment where you need to leverage this into more, right? Targamas can base TP back and they can start to hit Nash and invite the enemy to face check into them. I think it would have been something beneficial. But the problem of the draft that I mentioned before is that they don't have any tools to really threaten with. They need to like TP with a Gnar or find like a big Orianna ult, but it's a big ask, right? It's a very big ask. Do you think G2 is a cut above Europe? G2 is much better than every team in Europe. Much better. I think this G2 looks better than they did last year, by the way. Like in terms of the macro nuance of what they are doing, I think that they have a way higher ceiling playing like this. I think last year they were Ooga Booga, you know, fucking Kalista, Draven, Snowball Bot, Dive Enemy, Forehead. I think right now these guys are looking very fucking good. I think also Fnatic is showing the second highest ceiling of any team in Europe. And then Mad Lions probably third, I would say. Okay. So, KC here in this moment, right? This is a good move. They're making sure that Cavs can't fucking push this, man. They're trying to fucking punish him. I'm pretty sure in comms they're like, guys, we need to fucking stop Caps from farming like this. I'm pretty sure they said this. And they're collapsing on him, denying him the wave. Caps has to run back. He's running back, you know, in a different world. Some spell hits him, he fucking dies here, right? This is good. Nara's on bottom. And now they tried, and now they need to just cross back into mid, right? Cross back into mid. Smolder is hovering, no one's hitting. So they can take it easy. Like, if Smolder is on the wave, they hard walk, right? If Smolder is not on the wave, they can take it easy and take the time. They can take long route. You always play to information. Always play information. And now Orianna's hovering, which is good. It's just important to never let Nico cross the neutral point. Let her be the one catching the wave. And this is how you maintain initiative, right? And now, Cabo has no Mega, it just ran out, and Broken Blade managed to sneak in. He really managed to sneak in. And now BB comes in, and the wombo combo, very nice snap, and the game is over. You know, G2 is a tough team to beat, guys. G2 is a tough team to beat. Do you think Casey can play for top 4 in spring summer split, or it's too late for improve? I don't know. I really believe in this roster, right? I really believe in this roster. I think that a fair projection for Casey, I think a fair projection for Casey in spring is like to hope that they beat out Vitality and SK. I think breaking into top 4 is hard. It's hard. KC becoming better than Mad. KC becoming better than Mad. G2 Fnatic. That's a really big ask. And BDS, you know. BDS I think is beatable, you know. I think BDS, SK, Vitality, you know, those are the teams that are beatable. I think KC is for sure better than Rogue and GX. I think that they can wrestle in that middle pack, but top 3, breaking top 3 is going to be tough, I think, in the short term. At least in my mind, I feel pretty certain that working with this roster, like my goal, right, for this team was to qualify to the World Championship. And I would be so fucking certain and 100% sure that we would make that happen, you know? We would make that happen. You don't think SK is a top 3 team? No. Why would anyone think that? Irrelevant. So one player. Beautiful. No, G2 is fucking good, guys. G2 is fucking good. Fair play, man. It's like, you know, I don't want people to be like all doom and gloom about KC. I think KC still, I think KC KC can definitely beat out Team Heretics, Vitality, SK, BDS. That pool of teams, I think that, you know, is going to be very close in that pool of teams, really. I think a lot about Mad Lions are things that they can replicate and do well. I think Elioya and Alvaro are fucking good. Elioya, Alvaro, Mirwin, I think these players are fucking good. And I think they make the team really, really good. I like Alvaro, Elioya, fair play, man, really fucking good. And so I think that Mad Lions is not going to fall off. I really don't think so. AD is a very uninteresting role for me. I don't think Super is super exciting. But that's nothing against Super. I just don't think any AD besides Sansama is exciting. But that's it, guys. That's it. All right. Thank you very much, guys. If you watched till the end, bless you and bless your face. I wish you all the best.